ﷺ said, and we'll quote the hadith now that the session was named after, and maybe the entire youth conference was named after. That Abu Hurairah radiallahu an, who was one of the close companions of the Prophet ﷺ, who he himself was kind of a stranger. He lived in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. He was not a man of much means. But because of his sacrifice, he's able to teach us a lot about the Prophet ﷺ. He gave up his own aspirations for business, entrepreneurship, whatever kind of aspirations he may have had for this world. He sacrificed them. Why? So he could study with the Prophet ﷺ. And he tells us in this hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said what? Bada'a al-Islamu ghariban. That Islam, it began as something gharib. Now the reason why I'm saying the word gharib and not strange is because we think of strange as being negative. But there's a beautiful translation of this word gharib that I never want you to forget. Are you ready? Yes or no? You ready? Yes or no? This translation is one of the most beautiful things. That the Prophet ﷺ said that Islam began as something gharib, and it will also return to being something that is gharib. So he said, good news and congratulations to those people who are strangers. Ghuraba, those people who have this sense of gharibness. Now, what does gharib mean? There's a scholar, beautifully he said, to be gharib is to not be home. He said it's when a person leaves their homeland and they move to a different place. Anyone here ever moved? You ever moved before? I moved from Chicago, the fourth holiest city in the world. Mecca, Medina, Jerusalem, Chicago, right? I know a lot of you here think it's Hyderabad. You're wrong. It's Chicago, right? Which is also Hyderabad. Plot twist. Okay. Subhanallah, I really underestimated how powerful it is to have a place that you identify in your heart as a place that you call home. And this is especially why when we think of the refugee crises across the world, it shouldn't just be something that we quickly scroll through to the next House of Highlights video or the next cat video or whatever. But we should stop and think to ourselves that these people, these children, these men and women that we're seeing, that we're calling refugee, what does that mean? It means that their home, their maskana, their place of tranquility, it was stolen away from them. And I never understood the value of this word maskana, of your home, the place that you live, which the Arabs called the place of tranquility, until I had to leave Chicago. And I remember, subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ, one hadith, very powerful, when he was leaving Mecca, and it was confirmed, final, like khalas, it was done. He's moving from Mecca and he's going to move to Medina. What does he do? He turns around and he faces the city of Mecca, and he has tears in his eyes. He's crying because this is his hometown. And he speaks to the city and he said, if I were not commanded to leave you, I would have never left you. If Allah did not tell me, if I was not instructed that I had to move, then I would have never left you. This is what it feels like to be home. Till this day, when I fly to Chicago and I'm landing, I feel this lump in my throat, in my chest. Why? Because of this emotional attachment to home. So this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is saying that when you exist on this earth, in this dunya, as your belief gets higher, as your iman gets stronger, you're going to feel a little bit further away from home. You're not going to feel like this is your home. And I don't want you to go home, after this weekend and tell your parents, you're like, I'm never home, right? This isn't like a deep Twitter moment, like we're never home, quote me, right? Oh my God, 10 favorites, wow, look how popular. No, this is a really serious moment. That part of the reason why difficulty and pain and suffering exists, even in our degrees, to the lesser degrees that we might go through, or if they're pretty serious, then they're serious, is to remind us that we are not home. This is not our final destination. It's not where the beautiful soul that lies within us came from, and it is not the final home of where that soul will be. And so why would we invest everything that we have, our energy, our money, our emotion, our time, into a place that is not home? One of my teachers beautifully told me, he said, Abdulrahman, if I checked into a hotel, if you guys are checked into a hotel this weekend, imagine, he said, if I got to my room and I called some construction companies, I went to the Home Depot and I called some decorators and I ordered some new furniture and I renovated the entire hotel room. Went from carpet to hardwood. We mounted the TV on the wall, new bathroom. He said, what would you think of me? And I said, Sheikh, that would be kind of pointless because you're only there for 1 or 2 days. And he said, exactly. He said, this is exactly how we are in this life. That in a comparison to our akhirah in Jannah, say inshallah, that this life is like that hotel room, 1 or 2 days. And so he said, you treat it nicely, you benefit from it. None of you go to the hotel and just sit there, I need to use the bathroom. Go, no, this is not my home. You benefit from it, you use it, it's a utility just like anything else. But you don't invest what makes you into that. You don't invest your whole being into that because it is not your home. Your home is in paradise.